Welcome back to the Cheshire TV show with Ian and Alex Story.
On this week's show, we meet Catherine, who is part of a trio of ladies who are bringing the internationally renowned TED Talks to Northwich. That's a really interesting feature. We're going to be speaking to Dave, who's the training manager back at Johnson's Removals, who's got some really good tips for you if you're moving home. And then all of our usual property features. Buy-to-let deals for landlords, fantastic premium homes new to the market, stats chat, and just sold. As you know, guys, we like to get out and about in Cheshire as much as possible.
So with this in mind, this week Ian went to meet Catherine from TEDx and they met in Cheshire in Hertford.
Hi guys, I'm here at Chime in Hertford. We're going to have a really good chat today about TEDx talks, which are coming to Northwich. Hi guys, I'm here at Chime in Hertford today with the lovely Catherine, and we're going to talk about TEDx talks. So it's nice to meet you, Catherine.
Nice to meet you too.
So what I'd like to find out first of all is, I know that you're a local resident.
Yes.
And you live in Hertford.
I do.
Would you like to talk to me about what you love most about life in Hertford?
Oh, I think it's, for me, it's a really lovely place to bring up your family. That's why we moved here 23 years ago, and that's proved to be the case. And it's still got a villagey feel about it.
Yes.
So there's a community feel about it. There's the row of shops, there's
Yes.
parkland, there's access to some really lovely, we've got dogs, so lovely
Okay,
places to walk the
perfect.
dogs, lovely places to walk the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, really lovely place.
Yeah, it is. And obviously we're sat in the fabulous Chime today, aren't we?
indeed, yeah.
Which has updated its menu recently, I believe, and they've added quite a few new bits on.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah, so it's a
yeah.
nice place to live.
Indeed. Yeah.
And then in terms of the people then, I mean, I live just down the road in Davenham, as you know.
Right, okay.
So the people of the area, friendly, what do you like about them?
Oh, very. And I think what I've probably noticed more, as I've got more and more involved in community and different events in the community, there is a very strong sense of community
Yes.
in this area.
It's lovely, isn't
and
it?
it ranges from all sorts of things, whether it's looking after the village, whether it's doing things to support people in Hertford itself or in neighbouring Northwich.
Yeah.
There is that sense of community.
Yes, almost like an old-fashioned, in a way, sense of community that some areas have maybe lost. Do we
Probably,
think?
yes.
Yeah. And it
yes.
retains that, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. So you've been here for 23
Yeah.
years. How have you seen the area change?
Probably the biggest thing that's changed is its size. So 23 years ago, we actually moved into a new house, which
Okay.
was lovely. And of course, there's more and more houses that have been part of Hertford, and Hertford has grown and grown
Yes.
during that period of time.
Yes, but I suppose the likes of Chime and Relish they weren't around really then? Well, there
No, I
wasn't
mean,
that
this whole
sort
row of shops that we're actually part of in Chime now, that has changed quite significantly. The different types of shops have changed, and we've got a butcher's and we've got Chime. And,
Yeah, fab.
Yeah, so yes, it has changed.
Yeah, lovely. So obviously we're here to talk about TEDx.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us who don't know, what is a TEDx talk?
So, maybe I could just explain. A
Please
TEDx
do.
event is an event where there are a number of speakers invited to share, and the way TEDx explains it is an idea that's worth sharing.
Yes.
So something that is going to stimulate debate, is going to challenge thinking, is going to open minds and open eyes, and that an event brings together people who've got all of those ideas, and it's a fantastic event. It will be absolutely amazing. There'll be a breadth of topics, and that's why, as you can tell, that's why we're really excited
Yeah, I can
about
tell.
that. And then what happens is those talks are videoed. and
Okay.
then they are released on the internet.
Yes.
And so anybody can go and have a look at TED Talks, TEDx Talks. So there's a resource out there for not just the people who come to the event, but people after the event as
Fantastic.
well. Yeah.
So what a brilliant coup for Northwich then.
It's wonderful.
To have that come.
Absolutely wonderful
Yeah.
for it to come here
Yeah.
because we, as an area, we've got people here who've got amazing ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we're finding out, as we're choosing speakers
Yes,
for
I'm
our
sure.
event, just such a range of ideas and passion for various things. So yeah, absolutely a coup for the area.
Brilliant. So are there any particular TED Talks that people could go and watch that maybe you could recommend?
Well, there
Any
are
in particular?
thousands, absolutely thousands, and probably the biggest advice would be to say, go and Google it,
Yeah,
go and
okay.
put in TEDx Talks, and you'll have access to anything that you possibly want to listen to. There's a couple of favourites that I have, some that I use in my work, and then some that have been really meaningful for me. There's a lady called Brené Brown,
Okay.
and she talks about all sorts of things actually, but one of the biggest ones is about resilience, and that was a very powerful one for me to watch, and
Okay.
I know it has been watched millions of times.
Wow.
So obviously very powerful for other people as well. And there's another lady called Sarah Kane,
Okay.
and she talks about being an introvert, which is really interesting, and challenges your thinking that you might have about people who are introverts and extroverts, and that's very powerful to listen to as well. And I think probably that's the thing, they can be very powerful.
Yes.
They challenge your thinking and make you go, ooh.
Yes, that's good. And I
Yes.
believe they're only a certain length, aren't they?
They are.
No longer than
No longer than 18,
Yes.
but most are around 10 to 15.
Okay. So
And then-
manageable to watch.
Yeah, well, some are only 5.
Okay.
So yeah,
Easy and quick to watch.
and that's the idea.
Yes.
The idea
They
is
don't
that
ramble
it's-
on forever, no.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's not a lecture, it's not a seminar.
No,
it's
okay.
a concise idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the event in Northwich.
Right.
When is it and how can
So-
people access it?
Okay then, it's running on June the 21st on
Okay.
a Friday evening. We're running it at the Memorial Hall in Northwich,
Yep.
so it's a nice big venue. It's the first time it's come to Northwich, so we will have 100 tickets to release.
Okay. Only 100, okay, that's not a lot.
I know, that's part of, because it's the first time we've brought it to
Yeah,
Northwich.
okay.
The second time we bring it to Northwich, and the third and the fourth, hopefully,
Yes.
we will be able to release more and more
Okay,
tickets.
great.
So those 100 people will get to listen to 7 people who've got amazing ideas.
Wow, fantastic.
And they will be able to go away and have debate and engage in that process. So,
Superb. That sounds great. So I hope you found that interesting. Maybe you'll be one of the lucky ones that gets one of the 100 tickets.
That was a really interesting chat. I'd heard a bit about TEDx, but I hadn't actually watched any of the speeches before. So since then, I've watched a few, and they're easy to just dip in and out because they're manageable chunks, aren't they?
Yeah, they're maximum 18 minutes long.
Yeah.
And there's no selling allowed at all. So it's just like inspirational ideas and thoughts
Yeah,
from
on
all over the
different-
world.
Different topics.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're really, really good. So now, Cheshire landlords, it's time for another good buy-to-let deal. Cheshire buy-to-let landlords. I'm out and about again looking for good buy-to-let deals for your portfolio. Today, I'm on Huxley Street in Castle. Property behind me here is chain free and it's on the market for 115,000. Now, I'm assuming you're going to have to spend a small amount of money on it, including the stamp duty will leave you with a total spend of around 120,000. Because it's 3 bedrooms, you'll easily get rent of 595, which gives you a good yield of 6%. The reason I love this for buy-to-let purposes is because of your proximity to the shops and schools in the local area. Well worth a look for your portfolios. It's on with iAgent Homes, and I'll put the Rightmove link in the comments below. Hi there and welcome back. Cheshire landlords, I hope you got good advice and value from that buy-to-let deal. If you're ever in need of any assistance, please feel free to drop me a message.
And now for our weekly lifestyle piece, we went to meet Dave, who's the Quality and Training Manager at Johnson's in Winsford. Now Dave's got some hints and tips on how to pack your house for a move. So we're here with Dave at Johnson's, who's going to give us some hints and tips on how to pack for your next move.
Hi, I'm Dave from Johnson's. Let's get you moving.
So can you give us a brief overview of what you're going to show us today, Dave?
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to pack some kitchenware
Okay.
into a carton.
Yeah.
The first thing I would advise when packing kitchenware is to make sure the carton that you've got is a good secure carton.
Okay.
You can get, I mean obviously I'm using a removals carton here, you can get cartons from supermarkets, but if you're going to use a carton you need to make sure it's a nice sturdy secure carton. Equally you need to make sure that the bottom of the carton has been taped up because many a times I've gone out to removals where the customer has packed them and they've left the bottom open and items have fell out the bottom, so you need to make sure that the bottom of the carton is secured as well. Once you've done that, you need to make sure that when you're working, putting items into the carton, you need to make sure that the carton's at a good working height. You don't have to be bending your back up and down. Obviously if you're working in lower cupboards you probably have to get onto your knees, but ideally try and put all your stuff onto an area where you're not having to bend and you can actually put
and then you can see exactly what you're going to put in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next thing is to make sure that you've got some padding in the bottom of the carton. And the way we do this, you can put some crushed paper in there already, or you can put rolls of paper which causes a cushioning at the bottom of the carton. The way we do that, you can use old crushed paper that we've already got, or you can use the paper that you've got on the table. The paper we're using is a bit like your chip shop paper.
Yeah.
You could use any paper, to be honest, if you like newspaper. The only problem with newspaper, you can get the stain of the newspaper and that can on your obviously white dishes, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, so crushed paper. And what I do, I just make a roll with a bit of crushed paper. And that causes like a cushioning. That can go at the bottom of the carton and you get about 5 of those across the bottom of the carton. So I'll just do 5 of those quickly. That's what I like.
Yeah.
But it's giving you that extra protection while you're putting it in, you see. And it does take a little bit of time, but you know, if you've got expensive items, you want to make sure that the carton's protected properly. So give it extra padding.
If you're organised now as well, it will save time at the other end when you move in.
Definitely. So if you know exactly the way you're putting items into the carton, you know exactly what's coming out of the carton as well. So when it comes to putting items into the bottom of the carton, the first items that you need to put in are your more heavy items. They also need to be in their strongest position. So if you look at something like these plates, for example, if I was to pack it flat, that's probably got a greater chance of breaking. So if I do that, it's more solid, but if I did that, it could break quite easy. So I always pack things in their strongest position. Now the way we pack them is to make sure that you put a layer between each plate. So that's why this paper is ideal for packing items. So the first plate goes into the centre of your paper over. Try and have the items near to you if possible. Second one, paper over. And what you're doing is making a parcel. Third one, you can go 2 or 3. 3 or 4. A third one, fold over one side, fold over the other side, and it's a little parcel. And you can see, I mean, that's quite straightforward. And then what you do, the way you put your paper in the bottom of the carton is to make sure the dishware is going the opposite way. On its end, going against the side of the carton. So that's how you would pack your plates. And then what you would do then is pack all the plates going across the carton. Okay. Same with your dishes. So with the dish, one in the centre. Inside. And if the dishes are small enough, you can get away with less paper. And that same again, that goes into the carton on its side. Obviously, you would have all the plates and all the dishes going the same way. When it comes to packing a casserole dish, try and keep items together if possible. So what I do is separate the casserole dish first. Wrap the base of the casserole dish. Wrap the lid of the casserole dish. And put that inside casserole dish itself, so it's kept together, and then wrap the two together. Now sometimes you might have to extend the paper a little bit just to give you extra length. Then wrap it all together. Sometimes you can put a bit of tape on your leg and tape the top if need be, and then that can go on its end in the carton as well. Okay.
Thanks for that, Dave, here at Johnson's. We'll check back in with Dave in a few weeks on more hints and tips on how to move. Now back to the studio.
Hi there and welcome back. It would appear that I've been packing things wrong for years.
Yeah, I think that explains why we had quite a few breakages when we moved last year.
Yeah.
That was really interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, really interesting. He was telling me that they've, their house, the warehouse in Derby, they've built a mock-up of an entire house into their unit so they can train all their staff on how to move things properly.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah, really
Seems
interesting.
like a really switched on, good place to work, really.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so now it's time for our feature, Just Sold. Hi there and welcome to Just Sold. This week I found a fantastic property in the lovely village of Davenham on London Road. Let's take a look. So this property sold in August of 2018 for £490,000 with J Lord & Co. London Road is one of the most exclusive roads of the area, and this property, as you can see, is well set back from the road. And if we take a look at that rear garden, it's absolutely beautiful, large, private lawned rear garden. Moving through inside, some of the rooms were slightly dated, but as you can see are all a good size and it would just be perfect for a family. Next door to this property, I know personally that there's a large woodland area, which really does make it a tranquil place to live. I'm sure you'll agree that that was a really lovely property which sold last year in Davenham. Now it's time for Stat Chat. How did Brexit affect Wilmslow in 2018 and its future for 2019? A few weeks ago, I suggested property values in Wilmslow would be between 0.9 and 1.9% different by the end of the year. It might surprise some people that Brexit hasn't had the effect on the Wilmslow property market that most feared at the start of 2019. The basis of this point of view can clearly be seen in the number of property transactions, i.e. the number of properties that have sold, that have taken place locally since 2008. The most recent property recession was the credit crunch years of 08, 09 and 2010. In property recessions, the headline most people look at is the average value of property. Yet as most people that sell also go on to buy, for most home movers, if your property hasn't gone down in value, the one you want to buy has also gone down in value, so you are no better or worse off. If you're moving upmarket, which most people do when they move, in a repressed market, the gap between what yours is worth and what you will buy gets lower, meaning you will be better off. Yet most property commentators, including me, suggest a better measure of the health of the property market is the transaction numbers, i.e. the number of people selling and buying. So I decided to take a look at the 2018 statistics and compare them with the credit crunch years 2008 to 2010 and the boom years 14 to 17. The results can be seen in this table, the average number of properties sold per month over the last 10 years in Wilmslow and Cheshire East. Then I looked at the average quarterly figures for those chosen date ranges and created the graph that you can see here. The fundamental problems of the Wilmslow property market are that there haven't been enough new homes being built in the 1980s. And I don't say that lightly with all the new home sites dotted around the locality. Also, the cost of buying your first home remaining relatively high compared to wages, and to add insult to injury, all those issues are reinforced by the tougher mortgage rules which were introduced in 2014 and the current mortgage market conditions. Assuming something can be sorted with Brexit, in the long term, property values in Wilmslow will be constrained by earning increases with long-term house price rises of no more than 2.5% to 4% a year. To end on, there is little to be lost in postponing house purchase until there is a better clarity on the situation. If it isn't Brexit, it'll be something else. So just get on with your lives and start living. For more information on your local property market, please visit the Cheshire Property blog. Cheshire House Hunters. I'm out and about again looking for new premium homes to the market in the area. This property behind me here is a fantastic 5-bedroom detached family home in Hertford, and I'm on Douglas Close. The property has recently come to the market with Hinchliffe Homes for $535,000, and I will put the Rightmove link in the comments below. I love this property because of 2 reasons. Firstly, the interior is really well done, very contemporary, and it's chain free. So if you're looking for something that can move quickly, this could be the one for you. Lovely peaceful location, yet we're 5-10 minute walk into Hertford Village Centre. I would suggest that you take a look. Hi there, welcome back. That's a really nice 5-bed detached house in Hertford.
Yeah, walkable to Chime and Relish as well.
A bit of a Hertford show.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we hope you've enjoyed that episode, guys. Please continue to like, share and comment. And if you'd like to appear on the show, just get in touch. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.